Hello everybody and welcome to The United Stand. This is your Manchester United latest transfer news, where we talk about all the latest Manchester United transfer news and give it that real fan opinion. And bowing to last night's outrageous Koulibaly, please talk about Koulibaly demand. I've agreed to talk about Koulibaly. We've also got the Hotometer on the show as well, that will have some relevance in a moment. I'll tell you about that, and we'll be talking about a few other players as well. But let me start off with Calder Koulibaly. I had a rap for him in the summer. So basically everyone last night was saying, please talk about Koulibaly. I said, no, I'm not going to do it because I just don't believe it's even worth talking about. But it is a democracy, the United Stand, and it is about fan opinion, not about my opinion. So look, let me tell you the story about Calder Koulibaly. Calder Koulibaly, I'm not about to do the rap, is coming to Manchester United in the summer for £65 million. Now, this is the story that sort of came out around yesterday afternoon. I read it on Sport Witness. Italian journalist talking to Italian TV saying that Calder Koulibaly will leave Napoli for Manchester United in the summer for £65 to £70 million, it would seem, or something like that. And I just think, well, he doesn't definitely say it's going to get done. And also, I just don't... Look, I would love Calder Koulibaly to come to Manchester United. He's 29 in the summer, so he's knocking on a bit and doesn't actually fit in with what Manchester United want to do. I don't think they would want a 29-year-old centre-back, to be honest with you. But he is very good. And I think that Koulibaly should have been the centre-back that we bought in the summer. Instead of Harry Maguire, because we spent £80 million on Harry Maguire, and I always said in the summer you'd get. I think Napoli would have took 90, maybe 95, but I think they would have took 90. And he is a far better centre back than Harry Maguire. He's quicker. He's just a better centre-back. It's not just because he's quicker, he's stronger, he's better in the air. I just think he's a better centre-back. And I think that after Van Dijk, Koulibaly is the best centre-back in the world. So I would love him to come to Manchester United. I was very excited about that happening. And I think United were interested last summer, but I think they just got priced out of it. So, look, no one's going to be more happy than me if Koulibaly does come to Manchester United in the summer, but I'm not going to believe some journalist in Italy talking about it on the telly and saying that, he's coming to Manchester United. Maybe. It's not going to happen. And the reason I don't think it's going to happen is because for two reasons. One, do we need a centre-back? I mean, look, Rojo might be going as part of the deal for the person I can't mention on today's show. And Phil Jones is useless, and Chris Smalling's probably going to go as well. But we've still got Lindelof, we just signed him on a long-term contract. We've got Twan Sebi coming through. There's a couple of other young centre-backs coming through. Harry Maguire. Now, I don't dispute that Koulibaly would massively improve us because he'd be the best centre-back we've got, and I would love us to sign him. And I think if we were genuinely a football club that wants to get back to where it should be, we would go and sign him when he's available. But Manchester United, I just don't think they will. I don't think a centre-back is a priority ahead of midfielders and attackers. And I don't think that Manchester United are looking for a centre-back. I think that their stance is, we've given you £80 million for Harry Maguire. You can get on with what you've got for a few years. I do not think Manchester United will go for Koulibaly. I think what will happen is Man City, quite luckily again, the timing will be perfect for them to go and get a player of that quality for £65 million who will massively improve them. I don't see him coming to Manchester United. And also, I don't think Manchester United have a lot of money to spend. I'd love to be the person who says they have, but I don't think they've got a lot of money to spend. I think 65 million would be a large proportion, if not all, of their money that they've got to spend in the summer. I don't see them spending on a centre-back when it's not a priority position. I don't think Manchester United, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, have got a lot of money to spend in the summer. I know last year I thought they did. They proved that they didn't. I don't think they have. And I think, we need about £300 to £400 million spending on this team. I don't think Ollie will get that over the next 3 years. So I don't think that the money's there, to be honest with you, with that one. Let me bring the Hotometer in quickly before I talk about the other players. So the Hotometer is something that I do have on my Transfer Daily shows. And basically, I put my top 7 targets for Manchester United that I think we might sign from those 7. And then I rank them out of 10. So if it's a 10, they're hot. It's a 100% chance, basically. 10 out of 10. This was the Hotometer as I put it up on January the 1st. And I just wanted to show it you just to see, halfway through the month effectively, are the players on there that shouldn't be on there now? Are the players that should be on there? And it's interesting, isn't it? I put on January the 1st, and I said this at the time, got no idea who United are in for. I think we all agreed on that. And we had Eriksen at the top because, he'd been linked to us and he was potentially available. Jedson Fernandez because of the rumours from Sky. Sean Longstaff because Ollie loves him. Bruno Fernandes at 2, only a 2 out of 10 chance, so a 20% chance. I still put him on there, so I'll take that. He's on there. Gareth Bale 2, Emre Can 2, and Samari 2. And I must go to Babakari Samari because Ed Woodward was in France yesterday, and as soon as I saw the picture, I did tweet out Lil Samari. And it got people excited. But at the end of the day, I heard a very good joke about why Ed Woodward was in Paris yesterday, actually. Somebody actually tweeted out, and I wish I could remember their handle, or maybe I should have just nicked it, but I don't believe in that. They said the reason that Ed Woodward's gone to Paris is because he's gone to negotiate Ander Herrera's new contract, but doesn't realise he left the club 6 months ago. Which I thought was very funny, because it would be typical of the way United do deals, wouldn't it? But Samari, I still think, is available. There was some encouraging stories about him a week ago that Lille expect to lose him over the January transfer window, and there was a few clubs mentioned as well as ourselves. But then Get French Football News have said that Samari's got no intention of leaving in January. He's very happy there, and he has got a plan for his career to move on, but it won't be happening in a winter transfer window. So that's quite interesting. I think some United fans would like us to get him. I have thought about this quite a lot recently, like really recently, over the last day or so. I don't think United have got a lot of money to spend. I don't think we'll sign anybody other than Bruno Fernandes this January transfer window. I think Bruno Fernandes is a signing that is almost a fan signing. I do. I don't understand why, if he was a January target, it wasn't ready to go on January the 1st, like I said last night. And I realise I've started talking about a player that I'm not meant to, and I don't want to dwell on it for too long, but it's relevant to Samari. And the fact that we're in the middle of January and they're still negotiating shows to me that this wasn't a planned January signing. It's reactive, it's desperate, and I think it's about morale, and not only for Ollie, but also for the club itself, who are getting chanted about. I think this is a fan service signing, and it's exactly what we want, and we can't complain about it, but I don't expect anything else, and I'm not expecting loads of money to be spent in the summer either. I think we're not going to get the volume of players that we want in, is what I'm trying to say. We need 2 midfielders desperately. I think we'll get 1, and that'll be it. And I don't think we will get Samari. Maybe he'll go elsewhere, but I would like him. I would like him at United. I think as a future player, he'd be very, very good for us, but I don't see it happening. That doesn't mean he's not going to go elsewhere, but I would take him off my hotometer. I do not see us doing it. I think we'll get Bruno Fernandes, and Woodward and Judge will go off on holiday and pat themselves on the back with sun cream or something. I don't see it happening. Declan Rice is a player I want to mention, though, because this was actually a couple of days old, but it's been so busy with Bruno Fernandes news that I haven't had a chance to bring Declan Rice out. He actually celebrated his 21st birthday yesterday. So young player, British passport, Brexit FC. But United apparently are scouting Declan Rice a lot at the moment with a view to signing him in the summer as the CDM, because I think what we are getting dragged into a little bit at the moment with United is that everybody's an attacking midfielder, whether it's Bruno, whether it's Grealish, whether it's Maddison, whether it's Van der Beek, who can play both roles, but he is box to box at best. We know we need a CDM, and we're not actually linked with that many CDMs. So Declan Rice is interesting, and Declan Rice is a name that United forever get linked to. And I've got to be honest with you, I agree with Roy Keane on this. I don't actually see a player in Declan Rice that is a top 4 player. He's young enough to become it, but to me, every time I watch him, I just think he's got massive holes in his game. I don't think he reads the game particularly well. I don't think he's that quick across the ground. I don't think he's that good on the ball. I think he's just he's almost like the heir to the throne of Mark Noble. And Mark Noble wasn't a bad player, but Mark Noble was never a top 4 player. And I think we almost get sucked into this because, here's a young English player playing in the Premier League. They're going to be brilliant. And it's not always been the case. I've been watching the Premier League since its inception. And there's been plenty of players over the years that have been decent players that are never top 4 players. And I think that Declan Rice is going to fit into that category. But it wouldn't surprise me if United kept pursuing the Declan Rice and the Sean Longstaffs of this world, because for some reason they think that they can be the solution to the centre defensive midfield position, which we do need to solve. Whether we give Matic a new contract or not, we do need to solve that position, because McTominay is the only one I think can play it. And I'm not even convinced it's his best position either. We do need a specialist centre defensive midfielder. It's one of the most important positions in any team, and we need to bring somebody in, and we need to be looking to bring somebody in. And at the moment, I don't really see anybody. Certainly not in the January transfer window. Bringing it back to outgoings, disappointing on a personal note that Heath Chong representatives, as reported by Fabrizio Romano, speaking to Inter Milan. I mean, what is it about Inter Milan and Manchester United? They seem to want everybody. Matic, Young, Lukaku, Sanchez, now to Heath Chong. Do you want Phil Jones? Jesse Lingard, take them. But to Heath Chong, I think this is massively embarrassing for the football club, to be honest with you. I don't, whatever you think about Heath Chong, I've always really rated him, and I think there's a good player there. I totally accept he's not really grabbed his opportunities, but I also think he's not ready for those opportunities. I think he is a player that you can see is physically going to bulk out over the next 2 to 3 years, and when he does, that's only going to make him a better player. He's still a bit lightweight at the moment, but I believe in the future we'll be saying what a player to Heath Chong was. I really do. And we're going to let him walk out the door for nothing, which is absolutely ridiculous. Whether you rate him or not, you can't sit there and say, I don't really give a shit, he's crap anyway, because I think he will be a player that has some value in the future, and we could have loaned him out. That's what we should have done. We should have loaned him out, got him on a contract and kept him. And the fact that he's going to go like Pogba did, and I'm not saying he's going to be anywhere near as good as Pogba, but you've got to bring Angel Gomez into this as well. Whether we manage to keep these players or whether one goes or whether both goes, it's another embarrassing indication of how badly the football club is run. That yet again, players are allowed to be walking into contracts that are expiring and they can talk to other clubs. It's embarrassing and it's ridiculous. It really is. Also, a little bit about Lingard. Apparently he's being offered out by Raiola to a lot of Italian clubs. You know what I think about Lingard? And I tweeted it yesterday. I would be over the moon if he left Manchester United. I think, and I would wish him all the best. I think at this juncture, it is right for him to go. He's 27 years of age. Even I get drawn into this. He's younger than he is, and he's a potentially good player. He's not potentially a good player. He's had his chances at Manchester United. I think a lot of things have gone on with Lingard, and he's opened up about the mental health issues he's got, which are very, very sad. And that is why I think he needs. I think sometimes a change is good for people, and I think he needs a change, because I think at Manchester United he's had so many chances now that I don't think anybody would ever trust him if he did go on another 2-month Messi Lingard run. We'd all be expecting this average player to come back, but there may be a good player in there. I just think he needs another environment, and I think it would be perfect if he could get it. And if he does go, I think it's good for us, for United as well, because I think, is Jesse Lingard the way that United need to build for the future? He's 27. Is he the right sort of experienced player? Has he done things in his career at Manchester United that make him a role model? I don't really think so. So I think I would wish him all the best, and I hope United get it done. And I think it would be the turning of a corner for hopefully him, but more importantly Manchester United, where we can sort of move away from that dabbing sort of model sort of Instagram page. I know it's very popular, but for me, I'm not interested in it unless we're doing well on the pitch, and we're not doing well on the pitch. And I look at teams like Liverpool and Manchester City, and their players, yeah, they do a little bit in the social media world, but they're very successful as well. I think United players do too much in the social media world when we're not successful on the pitch. So I think it would be almost like a statement thing to get Jesse Lingard out of the club, let him go and build his career elsewhere, and we go down a more professional route ourselves, which I think Ollie wants to do. So, look, I don't know. Can you get money for Jesse Lingard? I think Raiola can, and I think United need to be realistic. But what do you value Jesse Lingard at? What would United want? I mean, that's why I brought the story up. What would you seriously? And I know people are going to go in the comments and say packet of quavers or something like that, but seriously, I think United will value Jesse Lingard around 40 million quid, and I don't think. I think if you can get 20 million, you let him go and you let him rebuild his career. Because I know United will value him a lot more, but actually, he's not done anything over the last 18 months, really, to constitute a decent transfer fee. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with that, if anything happens at all. But look, thanks everyone for watching. Please do smash a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new. We have got the watch along today for the Wolves game. That'll be going on later. Road trip with Flex on the way up there. And obviously we will go live if there's any breaking transfer news during the day as well. Have a good day. Thanks for watching. I'll speak to you soon. Get your comments in below.